Hello everyone! Welcome to our YouTube channel, and today I will be sharing to you kung paano nga ba natin gagamitin yung mga binibenta nating gardening essential products sa ating online stores, both sa Shopee and sa Lazada. And so, I would like to share sa inyo yung mga ginagamit ko personally for my plants to keep them healthy and at the same time, fungal-free and pest-free na din. So, the very first that I would like to feature is yung ating soil mix. We are using an organic alnus compost. If we are into gardening, the very first and I think the most important na we need to consider is the type or the quality of soil na gagamitin natin for our plants. Kasi nga, this is where yung nutrients would come from to sustain nga yung overall health ng ating mga plants in general. So yung ating alnus compost now enhances yung ating soil fertility. Kaya you can always mix this or add this to your existing potting mix, or it's better if we're gonna be using it as is. So yung ginagamit nating alnus compost is not just the leaves. So kumbaga, you would expect that there would be some sticks like this, although itong mga sticks na to is something that you should not be throwing away kasi as you can see, diba, napaka-soft na nila and all you can do is just leave them there, or kung gusto nyo naman, pwede nyo silang i-crush so that it will be part of our compost. One of the best things that I like about our alnus compost is that pag natuyo yung ating soil, is hindi siya nagdidikit-dikit, and that is something na gustong-gusto ng ating mga plants. And syempre, oxygen can easily pass through the roots ng ating mga halaman as compared with this type of soil. Ayan, so makikita nyo naman, ito yung klase ng soil na tumitigas over time. And so, pag tumigas nga siya, definitely yung water natin won't be easily absorbed by our plants. In any case, na after opening yung inyong alnus compost and may nakita kayong mga sprouts like this, you should not be alarmed kasi itong mga ito are actually sprouts from our alnus seed. So possibly, tumubo sila dyan, although it won't really harm your soil mix. You can just simply remove them, or sa akin, ang ginagawa ko is ginaganito ko siya para hindi na siya tumubo, and I just simply mix it with our compost. And if you're gonna be asking me kung okay ba siya sa lowlands, the answer would be yes. I think 99% ng ating buyers online are from the lowlands and the feedback is actually good. If you wanted to add more drainage sa inyong soil mix, then you can always add itong ating pumice stones kasi this one is not just about facilitating yung ating drainage, but they also contain beneficial trace minerals na essential para sa growth ng ating mga halaman. They would now also absorb yung excess moisture para yung mga roots natin won't rot just in case na overwater natin yung ating mga plants. And we have different sizes. Meron yung mga mas malalaki like this, the corn size, but what we are selling is yung ating monggo or matanghito size. Mas maliliit sila, something na very suitable if you are growing yung ating mga succulents. Yung pumice stones natin come in 1 kilogram packaging, and all you need to do is simply mix or add itong ating pumice stones sa inyong soil mix, and we prefer using yung ating alnus compost and this. So ideally, yung ratio ng ating pumice stones would be 30% and yung ating alnus compost would be 70%. Pero depende pa rin yan sa inyo kung anong gusto ninyong ratio, kasi yung iba, they prefer 50% organic, then 50% mineral. And when we say mineral, yan yung ating mga pumice stones, yung ating mga perlite. While there are those na they prefer na 70% yung kanilang pumice stones, then 30% lang yung kanilang alnus compost. So, depende na yan sa inyo kung ano yung preferred ninyo na potting mix. You can always experiment what's best for your location kasi we do have a different microclimate, diba? Ayan, so ganito na yung kanyang itsura after mixing. I decided to use the standard ratio of 70% alnus compost and 30% na pumice stones kasi my priority is to give your plants the nutrients that they need over yung drainage na kailangan nila. Kasi yung drainage naman is always an option. As I've said earlier, you can always add pumice stones for added drainage. So if you're someone who doesn't want to mix anymore, meron naman na tayong binibenta yung mga ready-made na ito. So it comes in 500 grams packaging, yung ating alnus compost with pumice stones na siya. So ready to use na din ito. The next one would be our vermicompost na isang bioorganic fertilizer. When we talk about vermicomposting kasi, it's like a method kung saan gumagamit tayo ng mga worms, yung ating mga earthworms, to transform yung ating mga organic waste into a nutrient-rich na fertilizer. So kumbaga, instead of us using yung mga chemicals, it's best nga to make use of an organic fertilizer like this. So itong ating vermicompost, they would also now improve yung ating root structure, yung growth ng ating mga plants, especially na alam naman natin habang tumatagal yung ating soil would be losing yung kanilang nutrients, and itong ating mga vermicompost would replace yung mga nawalang nutrients to keep them healthy. And so if you are planning of adding this in your soil mix, I would suggest na you can use 20% of this vermicompost, then 50% nung ating alnus compost, then still 30% ng ating pumice stones. And all you need to do is simply mix it like this. Although we are not selling yung parang pre-made na ganitong mix kasi as I've said, it's always an option if you wanted to add yung ating vermicompost sa inyong soil mix. But in any case, you wanted to add vermicompost, then you can avail that sa ating online stores. Most of our potting mix comes in 500 grams packaging like this. Although if we're gonna be ordering more, or specifically 10 packs of this, we usually put it in a bigger single pack like this, yung ating alnus compost na 5 kilograms. So it's the same thing. This one is 10 times 500 grams as packed. Ayan, para hindi kayo magulat kung bakit ganito yung na-receive ninyong item pag nag-order kayo. The next item that we will be featuring is yung ating Harvest King 888 fertilizer. It comes with the single pack like this. And meron rin tayong tag 500 grams or 1 kilogram. So itong ating Harvest King is a plant fertilizer na we just need to dissolve in water. So it also contains yung ating NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Yung nitrogen is good at making the leaves grow. Phosphorus improves fruit and or flower production, and potassium is great for overall plant health. And what I like most about this fertilizer is that it contains magnesium, which is now the powerhouse behind photosynthesis in plants. So this one is a simple illustration on how photosynthesis works. Ayan, so let me show you kung paano ba natin i-prepare itong ating organic fertilizer. So if you have ordered yung ating single-use na pack like this. So this one is approximately 1 tablespoon. In fact, more than 1 tablespoon ito. And all you need to do is open nyo siyang ganyan. So ito medyo may amoy siya. If you're familiar with yung chicken manure, parang ganun yung amoy niya na mas lesser ng konti. Ayan, so ganyan yung kanyang itsura. It's in granulated form. And all we need to do is add water. After adding water, kailangan lang natin siyang i-mix or i-dissolve completely. Sometimes iniiwan ko na lang siya ng parang 5 or 10 minutes para talagang ma-fully soak yung ating mga granules and mas madali nga siyang ma-dissolve. Continue mixing it until maging ganito na talaga siya, maging liquid na siya completely. And after nga doing this, we can now mix it sa 1 gallon or 3.5 liters of water kasi yun yung pinaka-recommended na dilution nito per 1 tablespoon. But in any case na gusto nyo siya maging mas concentrated, you can just lessen yung ating water. Basta maximum of 3.5 liters per tablespoon. Ayan, so sa akin nilagay ko siya sa 1.5 liters of water. Ayan, so okay lang naman kasi unlike sa iba nating mga fertilizers, this one, pag nasobrahan natin siya, it won't really burn yung roots or yung ating plant itself. Kaya it's very safe to use and it's really one of my favorite na ginagamit for my succulents and ornamental plants. So all we need to do is ano lang siya, para lang tayo nagdidilig ng ating mga halaman. So directly lang sa soil kasi ang mga fertilizers naman, they are meant to be absorbed by the roots. Kaya there's no use if i-spray natin siya sa ating plant. So ganun lang, diretso lang siya sa ating soil. If you're someone who prefers yung parang mga long-term use, then you can try yung ating Osmocote na triple 14 Npk Fertilizer. So, ito naman, it's a slow release na fertilizer. Kaya, if we're gonna be adding this sa ating mga plants or sa ating soil, it's already good for about 3 to 6 months time. Ayan. So, we have yung 40 grams na packaging, and at the same time we have the 500 grams packaging as well. So there's two possible ways kung paano nga ba siya gamitin. Una nga dyan is simply add it sa ating soil mix. Ayan, so there is no specific naman na amount. So kumbaga tansyahan lang yan, you can add more, you can add less, kasi itong ating mga Osmocote are also safe to use. Ayan, so just add it sa inyong soil mix and pwede na kayong magtanim ng inyong plants using this soil mix. The second way of application naman is for potted plants like this. So pag nakatanim na yung ating plant dyan and we wanted to add itong ating Osmocote fertilizer, we can do it every 3 months or 4 months. So we can just simply put it nga on top nung ating soil mix. Ayan, so approximately about 6 to 10 pieces of this in a 3 by 3 inches pot. But this one is a 6-inch pot, kaya I'm adding more. Ayan, ganyan yung kanyang itsura. But you can also try this one. Yung maglalagay tayo ng Osmocote dito sa top layer ng ating soil. Ayan. Pero, ang gagawin natin is ibabaon natin siya ng konti. Ayan. So, it's just literally covering yung ating mga Osmocote nung ating soil mix. After using, we can just reseal it again, then keep it. As long as it's not wet, then matagal ang shelf life nito. You can use it again after 3 or 6 months. One of our best sellers would be the StarkleG Blue Contact Fungicide. Isa talaga ito sa mga ginagamit ko sa aking mga succulents, especially if I wanted to treat an existing fungal disease sa aking mga plants or succulents. Although pwede rin naman ito as a prevention. Ayan, so it comes with this instruction once you buy it, and yung packaging niya is naka 2 ziplock siya to make sure na hindi siya mapapasukan ng moisture. Yung mga fungus kasi affecting our plants, they would just naturally appear over time. So kahit na gaano tayo kaalaga sa kanila, talagang meron talagang nagkakaroon ng fungal disease, especially if yung setup ninyo is parang sa akin na outdoors, exposed to the elements talaga. Ayan, may kita ninyo yung mga marks, early signs na may fungus na itong ating plant na ito, and if we will not be treating it, ganito ang mangyayari sa kanya. Ayan, so may kita nyo naman, diba? Talagang kumalat na yung fungus dito sa plant na to, and it will slowly kill itong ating succulent or plant in general pag hindi natin siya aagapan. I will give you another example. Ayan, mukha siyang healthy sa taas, pero dito sa pinaka-ilalim na part, I notice, ayan, yung nakikita nyong yan, that's yung parang powdery mildew, and that would now slowly spread sa ating plant until ma-damage niya nga yung leaves and growth nito. And so we have to treat this right away in order for us to save itong ating Beyonce rainbow. Ang kailangan lang natin gawin is first open it, then nasa pinakaloob yung ating fungicide. Ayan siya. So ito, you can discard it, don't reuse it kasi it's already contaminated by our fungicide. That's very important kasi baka mapaglaruan ng mga bata or ng ating mga pets. Yeah, so for this one, it's approximately 1 tablespoon and it's already good for 2.5 liters to 5 liters of water maximum. But since today, konti lang naman yung i-sprayan natin itong ating contact fungicide, I decided to just add it dito sa ating 500 ml of water. Ayan siya. So, okay lang naman siya if it's concentrated. Mas maganda nga yun pag concentrated talaga siya. Pero ang disadvantage lang nito would be mas magiging colorful din yung blue stain na iiwan niya sa ating mga leaves. Ayan, but that's completely okay. Ayan siya, let me show you yung itsura niya sa loob. So, it's in powdered form na talagang very fine powder. Kaya, ang ginagawa ko para hindi siya parang lumipad or maihangin, diretso ko na lang siya nilalagay sa aking sprayer. Kaya this is also something that you can do, diba? Para maiwasan natin na ma-inhale yung ating powder. Just pour it or mix it directly doon sa container kung saan natin siya ilalagay. Then, after, syempre, we need to be responsible then. We have to discard it properly. Kaya pwede nyo siyang ilagay doon sa ating resealable ziplock na pouch para naman maiwasan natin na makontaminate yung ating environment or accidentally ma-consume ng ating mga bata or mga pets around us. We have to mix it thoroughly. Ayan. And also pala, it's very important na after mixing it, pag naka-liquid form na siya, we have to use it within 8 to 12 hours for its maximum effect. And in other words, dapat gamitin nyo siya agad and you cannot store it for a longer period of time, not unless naka-powdered form pa siya. So, as you can see, I'm trying to spray it directly nga sa affected area since this one is a contact fungicide. Kaya make sure na you will target or spray it doon sa mga areas kahit na doon sa pinaka hidden na parts, including this Beyonce. Ayan, so it's not something na nakakapanghinayang gawin kasi over time itong stain na to would definitely fade away. So mukha lang siyang parang blue na blue ngayon kasi nga basa pa siya, but tomorrow I'll be showing to you kung anong itsura niya. Halos na sprayan na natin lahat pero ang dami pa ring naiwan. Kaya always remember, mas magandang concentrated na lang siya kaysa ilagay natin sa 5 liters of water pero itatapon rin lang natin yung hindi natin magagamit. So, overnight, ayan siya, nag-dry na kaagad yung in-apply nating fungicide. So, hindi na siya ganun ka-color blue as compared kahapon. And itong mga blue stains na to, as I've said, will fade over time. So, pag nababasa yung leaves nila, the faster din na mawawala itong ating mga stains na ito. So, as much as possible, try to avoid watering yung kanilang leaves kung saan tayo nag-spray for about 2 weeks time. And if talagang severe na yung fungal disease ng inyong plant, you can always reapply after 2 weeks to make sure na talagang treated na yung inyong plant. Ayan. So, pwede na natin silang paarawan din But if you are someone na ayaw nyo magkaroon ng stain yung inyong mga plants, then you can make use of this systemic fungicide. So, yung isang tablespoon of this kasi is already good for 5 liters of water. So, if you ordered yung single pack, you can mix it with 5 liters of water. And yun nga, yung pwede nating pangdilig sa ating mga plants mamaya. So, again, we have to be responsible in discarding ito properly. Ayan siya. So, ilagay ulit natin siya sa ating blue pouch. And after, we can just mix it. Mabilis lang siyang ma-dissolve. So, siguro in just 1 minute or 2 minutes, you're ready na ipangdilig sa ating mga plants and succulents. Ayan. So, sinasabay ko na lang siya pag nagdidilig ako to make sure na hindi ko ma-overwater yung aking mga succulents. And I only use this twice a year. So, before summer and before the rainy season. Kasi I'm using itong ating systemic fungicide as a prevention nga na magkaroon sila ng fungus. Pero, pag talagang nagkaroon ng fungus na yung aking mga plants or succulents, mas preferred kong gamitin yung ating Turogi Blue since it's a contact fungicide and talagang it's really effective in treating yung ating mga fungus. The last one that we will be featuring will be the systemic insecticide, and ito naman is effective in killing nga yung different kinds of pests that we have sa ating garden, such as yung ating mga aphids, mga scales, mealybugs, and the rest. And so even yung mga nasa pinakailalim ng soil, it can kill it. Kaya I'm always incorporating this sa aking soil mix recently. And aside from that one, itong insecticide na to has low toxicity to humans. Kaya that's very important sa akin. And so pag magre-repot kayo ng inyong mga plants, all you need to do is put it sa pinaka-top na layer. And then you can now plant or repot as what you normally do. Ayan, so ganun lang yung ginagawa ko recently to make sure na pest-free yung aking mga halaman. So it's good for about 45 days. Kaya after that one, you may try to reapply it once again. And yun nga, yung second way of application natin is paano pag ganito na nga sila, nakatanim na sila and we don't want to repot or we don't want to change the soil. Ang gagawin lang natin is to create a hole sa may bandang root area ng ating plant. So, if you don't have yung parang ganitong tool na I'm using, you can make use of any sticks that is available. Ayan. So, after creating a hole, ganyan lang. Ang next natin gagawin is just add yung ating StarkleG systemic insecticide sa loob. Ayan siya. So, usually about 2 to 3 grams yung ilalagay natin sa kanya. And I prefer na sa pinakaloob siya ilagay para kahit papano hindi siya yung basta-basta makakain ng ibon just in case there are birds flying around our garden, diba? They are safe from consuming itong ating insecticide accidentally. Ayan, diba? So parang walang nangyari. And that ends yung ating informative tutorial about our products. And of course, we are always adding new products sa ating Shopee and Lazada stores from time to time. Kaya you can always check that out. And I would like to say thank you sa lahat ng mga bumibili sa ating Shopee and Lazada stores na napakaganda ng mga feedback and reviews that you are leaving. And I really do appreciate that one. Ayan. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You may also visit our Facebook page at Desert Succulent PH.